Hi, Dr. Deb here. I love starting with the Tibetan bowl. I wanted to share a quick story. Um, Many years ago, I was up at Esalen, and before I knew anything about sound healing, it was probably 1999, 98, 99, and somebody had, they were doing some bowls and such there, and somebody put one in my hand, and I never had one in my hand, as I could recall, and they hit it, and the spontaneous tears came. Um, it moved me beyond measure. And it moved me so much that when I got home, I asked the lady, I said, whose bowls are these? I thought maybe it's a person, I didn't know. And it was a man who had sent it up, and he had AIDS. And he lived actually, I believe, in this area. I was still in school at the time, and I called him just because of the reaction I had to that bowl. So that's why I use that. I always have a story behind what I do, just because that's been my journey. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about the chakras, kind of building that up, pulling them on up. Yesterday, or was it Sunday, I shared a little bit about the human design system, and I will share more about that later. But today, I kind of wanted to share with you guys and talk with a little bit what I'm learning. And what I'm learning is astrology a bit. And for me, I don't know that I care that much about it per se, or haven't. However, what I'm aware of, because I study body-temple energy, I study what goes on inside the human being as we're processing our emotions. That's everything that I'm about, is be still, know that I'm God, as above, so below. And as I learn those things, what I'm aware of is that these planetary energies are affecting me, affecting us as a whole, and I believe it's shifting things right now. Evidently, Saturn just went stationary today, which Saturn has a 2-year cycle, so that's gonna kind of a big thing. And whatever has been going on for the past 3 months, and I have certainly been making changes in my life these past 3 months. I was like, wow. And then it said something that in 1987, because everything cycles, so we're now pulling around to another cycle, and the last time this cycle was here, evidently, is 1987. And it is there. I listened to a few astrologers, but it was like, what was going on in my life then? In my life then, I had just finished my master's in education. In '86, and then I was a VP 1 year, and then I took over the principalship at that church that I sued. So it was a real big movement for me at the time. So I'm thinking, it's a shift. So I don't know what you were doing in 1987. Maybe you're just born, but it's really kind of take a look at what was going on there versus what's going on now. Because evidently there's a lot of cycles in planetary stuff. Right now we're in a time of illumination. We all know that. It's like the great shift that's happening. And what I know as Dr. Deb is that right now it's all about the body temple. It's all about the issues in our tissues. It's about old stuff coming up to get cleared. It's about in my opinion, individuation, know thyself, to thine own self be true, honoring yourself, being true to yourself, speaking your truth, even though it might create conflict and tension, those type of things. So how did I get to a place of being able to do that? And it's a little bit being still, not being so busy. I was a very busy person. I'm not so busy anymore, just simply because life passes me by then, and I really want to feel all that I need to feel, and so I slowed down, many years ago. So Um, Everything that I'm learning too, it's about, I see on Facebook, because I'm certainly a Facebooker, I'm always putting stuff out there. And what I'm seeing is there's just a lot of anxiety coming up for people. We're all talking about, oh my gosh, how are you feeling, and those type of things. I have some friends out there that, will call me and say, Deb, what's going on or something. I got a couple phone calls this morning, and sharing and talking with them. What I'm aware of is that it's really a time to be still and know that I'm God. It's a time to make sure you're really taking care of your body. If you're eating shit, excuse my language, and you're not drinking enough water, you're, maybe, the sugar stuff. We all have addictions. I don't know if you guys remember the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? I love that movie because what's your addiction? I don't care if it's yoga or exercise or whatever, but if it doesn't have a balance to it, I look at this and I think balance. If you don't have a balance to it, it's it could be an addiction, and we go into denial, and we go into repression and all of that stuff, and the stuff's going to come up. So, my teaching is deal with it, get to it. Saturn evidently went stationary today, and what that means, it's a 2-year cycle, and with it, what we're doing now is we've got to cross all of our T's and dot all our I's, and if we don't, it can kick us in the butt, right? And it's not so much fun. We talk about Saturn return. Again, I know I'm talking about astrology, but for me, I know the psychology like the back of my hand. I know intergenerational stuff. I've learned quite a bit about nutrition, and I continue to work on that. But like I said, we're in the shift of the ages, so I'm tapping into this astrology stuff. So you astrologers out there, if you see this at all, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously. I have so much admiration, for you guys out there that are teaching us and educating us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I do know, what I have to offer, community and people, is how do we get to our emotions? Again, I talked the other day, sad, glad, mad, scared. You have 4 basic food groups, and we have the head. And that's where our beliefs and our values are. And then you have the heart, where our actions and feelings are. And if our actions and feelings are different than our beliefs and our values, that's called incongruency. Incongruency is going to cause havoc in your body because we want to live a congruent life. We want to walk our talk, speak our truth. And sometimes it's not always easy to do that. But in my opinion, very, very important. I worked long and hard to be the person that I am and to be able to share from a whole place. Doesn't make me so popular sometimes. And to be honest with you, I don't care. I do, and yet I don't, because I have to do what I feel called to in this life space that I'm in. I wrote a couple of notes, hang on a second. Talked about staying centered, aligning to spirit, nature, staying calm, be still that I'm knowing God, and body, temple, wisdom. So what I mean by that is nature, I'm a preacher out there saying, I don't believe in institutionalized anything. I'm a sovereign being, but what I do know is that nature heals. Years ago, I was in a pretty bad relationship. I call it my second phoenix, and I thought I had multiple sclerosis. It was that bad. My sister died of that, so I was just like, oh my God, and I didn't know anything. This is back in 2000, 2001. I didn't know anything really about, just a little bit I got at Esmond, the energy body stuff. And what took me as a wounded healer, what took me there is my body was shutting down. I got numb on my right fingers, and there was just so much stress, and it's the cortisol, from the fight or flight that comes into the body, and it scared me, So I started studying quite at length about that, and I walked the beach a lot. I was in a space that angels took care of me, and I was able to walk the beach a lot. And so I did probably 4 times a week, about 4 or 5 miles at Crystal Cove. And that actually, I remember that's where I got, I think, the most healing. I would listen to cassette CDs, or I think they were cassettes at the time, maybe DVD or CDs or whatever. But I can remember listening to teaching tapes and just kind of praying and walking and trying to figure out, again, what goes on in the body, and where do we find that peace, and where do we find that happiness, and where do we find that joy. And I'll never forget one day I was walking, and I've had my heroes in life. And I remember hearing this voice, I am she. And it's when I realized I was my own hero. And I think that was probably 2004. So it's doing the work, and I'm still working. I think we all are. It's not easy right now a little bit, because the patriarchal system's falling. The divine feminine is rising. And again, the divine feminine is not just in women, it's in the men as well. For me, what I'm noticing, like for instance, yesterday, I hope everybody's doing really well. My prayer, my heart is that everybody's doing fantastic. Yesterday, I was wanting to do a little bit of teaching, and I declare, I kind of got ready to, I was exhausted, literally. I had to take a nap yesterday. I am 61 years old. But I think I'm a young 61. So all I can tell you, I was so tired. I literally, I was tired. So I think, so that's why another reason I'm studying, going, what is going on? And it's like one day we're up, one day we're down. And that's why we can't trust emotions. What you want to do is you want to breathe into them and feel them, whatever's there. There was something I wanted to share on emotions and on anything that comes in and it gets stuck again. I kind of a little ADHD, but hopefully you guys can track with me. You got your the head and the heart, the values and beliefs, the feelings and actions, and so we want to have congruency in that. And as we're integrating those, because it's all about integration. It's all about integration. I mean, there's so many people that can be up here and have all of the wisdom and such from the Akashas and everything, which I think is fantastic. I truly do. I have a high honor for that. And we all have it, to be honest with you. We just have to clear. But there's a tree trunk here. So let's say you got those are, the tree, branches going up and, to the high heavens, and then you got the roots, into Gaia, to Mother Earth. And then we have us, our body temples. And so we're kind of like these tree trunks, in my metaphor, that we've got to integrate, the as above, so below. So that's us. And how do we do that? We don't do it by restricting. We don't do it by doing this. Now, there's times you need to go in, sometimes it's great to be in a fetal position, but when when you're doing the work, you've got to be able to hold on to pain, hold on to that anxiety, hold on to whatever's coming. I say open hands, open heart, hold on to it, and breathe through it. Because as you do, what happens is you expand. And I promise you guys, this is the truth. I've seen it over and over again at the workshops at Esalen that I've done. So anchor in, and either you're restricting or you're expanding. So make a decision on what you want to do, because if you're just staying the same, it's gonna, whatever you're getting triggered by, it's gonna come back. What you resist persists. There's all those little axioms out there. One thing I've learned that's really important on this body temple stuff is magnesium. We have the soil, all of our foods in the soil. About 150 years ago, something happened, and I can't remember all of it. I was in a couple of wellness, companies, and it doesn't have the minerals and the nutrients that it once did. So that's why we have to sometimes take supplements, And so magnesium is a really big thing, and the medical model doesn't teach that. So electrolytes, magnesium. I take some liquid ones, but if you're feeling really, really tired, calcium, make sure that you're taking the nutrients that you need, because we often don't get them in the food, which is a bummer, but it's true. Let me think what else I wanted to share. Baths, really, really important. Epsom salt, I've talked about that before. Whole foods. If indeed you're a sugar person or an alcohol person, be very cautious. Be very, very cautious, especially now, because it's just not the highest good, and it's going to tax the body, and then more stuff's going to come, because you want to, again, clear, clear, clear. Another thing that I'm finding, because I go through, I certainly go through all my stuff. There's it's a practice. Find a practice for yourself, whatever that practice is. I just recently really committed. I gotta get comfortable here. I just really committed into doing yoga. It's been about 6 weeks now, 5 weeks or so, 5 times a week. I've been consistent, and to be honest with you, I'm really, really proud of myself, and I feel really good. Doing breath work, and it's Kundalini. I just have a CD or DVD here. It kind of looks like it's in Bali, so it's kind of fun, but that way I don't have to leave, and I can get it done every morning, because for me to get up and get to the gym and all that, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not that girl. The other thing is sleep. Make sure that you're sleeping. That's very important. Don't cheat yourself on that. If something keeps coming up, look at it, deal with it, and those type of things. Things don't go away, you guys. The body temple thing, the issues in the tissues, they don't just go away. You really need to work them through. I found this out the hard way. There's Gestalt work. There's so much. I love being a practitioner. I'm here for hire. But if it's not me, find somebody. Especially now, if your stuff's coming up, find somebody that wants to, that you want to work with, because that's important. Even if it's just a friend or whatever, but get to the stuff. Okay. In closing, positive thoughts. I have that over here on my paper. And then the main thing, I think what I was wanting to share this morning is the childhood wounds. I'm noticing that some people are starting to post a lot of that. Maybe it's just my consciousness, and so I'm seeing more of that. I don't know. Actually, a gentleman sent me something the other day and said, I see that you do shadow work. What do you think about this article? His name is Brian. Hi, Brian. I was so impressed with it. I asked him to post it, and posted it on my wall. It was so good. It was kind of just going in with those things are there, and how we have these patterns, and they just go around and around if we don't embrace them. So that's really important. Issues in the tissues, childhood wounds, patterns, shadow, the unconscious, repressed parts of the self, on and on and on. So this is a longer one, so certainly I'm going to need to post this on YouTube. But I wanted to leave you guys with a card. This is a deck I got at Esalen, and it's a Gaia deck, and I really like it. And this morning I did, excuse me. By the way, super good. I got at TJ Maxx this what's those things called? A picture that has a center thing that you put fruit in it. And then you put the water in, and then you just kind of let it infuse for a while, and it's amazing. Very cool. And imagine you can just do it in the jars and such, but I'm so excited about it. Okay, so the card, what I picked this morning, it's Enchanted Forest. I gotta get my glasses on. Enchanted Forest, and it's mystery, magic, and excitement. Now, I put those away earlier today, and when I decided I wanted to share a card, because sometimes it's just really good to leave with positive feelings, positive thoughts, positive, because it is really, we are what we think, right? But we don't want to deny the negative stuff either. We have to integrate those. Interesting that it's a tree, right? But anyway, I picked it this morning. It was where I've been, and so when I just picked it up, and I shuffled the deck, but it popped up again, so I wanted to read it to you guys. Enchanted Forest, magic, mystery, excitement. 1 minute life seems rather mundane and boring. Then all of a sudden, someone or something sweeps into your world like a breath of fresh air. All of a sudden, you feel as though you're on a magical mystery tour with a renewed sense of passion and excitement for life. And it doesn't matter that you have no real idea where this is all leading you, because you're in the here and now. In fact, not knowing only creates more excitement. And it doesn't matter that you have no, excuse my dyslexia and ADHD. Life is now full of romance and seemingly endless creative possibilities. Embrace all that comes your way. Enjoy the journey and don't be in a hurry to settle down or draw conclusions. Allow things to unfold in their own way and time. What unravels will bring you lasting joy and a deep sense of fulfillment. And the cool thing about these cards is they have an affirmation, and I would say when I work with clients, repeat, repeat after me, repeat. I am open to new ideas and adventures. Life is full of endless creative possibility. I embrace each opportunity that comes my way. I love the magic and the mystery of life. I say we are the magic. I trust my heart and I believe in love. And that's my truth. So on this, 23rd of August, my prayer for everybody and for all of us is that we honor ourselves deeply. We know thyself, and to our own selves we will be true. We follow our true north. We speak our truth with friends and neighbors and family. We always ask for the highest good. We take good care of ourselves. We put good food in our bodies. We bring the unconscious conscious, and we love, because ultimately it's about love. And remember, September 1st is the next eclipse. Again, it's supposed to be a doozy. I don't even know what that means, but you know what? I'm paying attention. All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you're enjoying these little videos that I'm doing. I'm going to continue to do them. Like I said, I'm committed. I was really tired when I did the other one the other day on the human design, but I really wanted to get it out because I'm committed, even though, because that's the other thing right now, even though we're very, very tired, we really need to keep going forward. That's what I'm getting, keep going forward. And how I'm doing it is I'm finding a practice, and my practice is doing this yoga 5 times a week because it's centering me, and it's getting me into my breath. And I just think that's where we need to be right now, in a practice of honoring ourselves as we honor others during this time of great change. Blessings, love, and light. Thank you, guys.